Sean Payton press conference, Week 17 versus the Bengals.
Do you keep deleting slot games one after another? Well, here is one game that you won't want to delete. Cash Tornado is 100% free.
Percent chance, 57 degrees, so wet ball drills, all of that stuff. We've got to be prepared for any kind of weather. Any questions?
I heard the caroling, so the attitude's pretty good despite the loss last week.
Yeah, listen, these guys. I thought we had good work today. Um, Coming off of 3 days of rest, I was pleased. We got to put a good plan together and play against a team that's playing well right now.
From a player perspective, what's the biggest key to taking advantage of the extra time to prepare?
Well, I think there's a mental framework of rest, but then this time of the year, it's really, the physical rest. Everybody, every team, there's guys nicked up, someone injured, so I would say that's the number one thing.
Sean, what went into the decision to waive Utah Rock?
Look, it's never an easy decision. Hopefully, we'll see how it goes, and we're able to get them back. But basically, you're trying to protect your roster at certain positions. I would say with the way Chris Abrams, some of those guys have been really stepping up and again, keeping a young player like Blake Watson that others are trying to. This is the time of the year where some of the teams that are maybe out of it are trying to improve, look into the future. So it's always difficult. It's roster management though, and that's hard. Yeah.
And then you get Tyler back. How does Tyler serve?
His clock, he's doing well. His clock began today. He's doing really well.
Last year, like Palcho had a couple weeks at the end of the year. He got practice. Can you see Tyler helping his team at some point?
Yeah. Listen, number one, he's smart and he knows the system, and that's a big plus. Just getting him out here though and getting the work, I think is real helpful.
John, 3 running backs can be a challenge.
Well, yeah. I mean, we're talking about roster different than game day.
But there was a raining game with the Jets. Did you learn anything from that game?
Well, look, the difference is now we'll see how the forecast projects, but we didn't have a strong indication of rain, and all of a sudden, it showed. So hopefully, the preparations this week will be ready for it. Obviously the biggest thing is the balls. Is it actively raining during the game? And if it is, how are the officials covering that? Those are all things you have to deal with, and then you also have to deal with how that might impact your play calling and what you're doing schematically in all three areas.
In general, how difficult is a receiver winning the triple crown?
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. I really had never looked at it that way. I saw the same broadcast, and look, I had a chance to see those guys live in person. Just throw in Justin Jefferson, and that whole team was something else. And watching them, even in the national championship game, it's fun to see guys that you watched in college playing at different teams, and now it's not fun going against some of them, but it was, those numbers are remarkable, and the run after catch only happens when you have strong hands. Rarely do you see him leave his feet. His feet are on the ground as he catches the ball. Some receivers will jump or pause to catch it, but his balance, and I would say he's extremely strong. hard to tackle. So that presents a challenge. And obviously, all three of the receivers have been playing well, along with the running back from Illinois. So certainly this team has found their stride when you watch them of late, and we're going to have to play one of our best games.
Sean, there's a talking Sunday about the coverage drops. They punish you for the
Yeah, they're so good. The other part that they do a great job with is, and Joe does a good job with this, reading, feeling the pocket, climbing, and extending a play. They're really good with the not the improv, but the second element of a play if it's not open on time, and he'll keep it just as well and go get a first down. But they're really good with their scramble drill rules. So you really have to work on plaster, staying with your guy, and then we have to rush him the right way as well.
Sean, there's a lot of playoff scenarios, excluding your games. If Kansas City wins tomorrow, they may not play starters in the finale against you guys. What do you tell your guys? Just don't worry about any of the games. Worry about the task.
Yeah. Well, I put a note. We got to get to 10. It's the first thing. We got to get to 10. Let's focus on that. And all our preparation, everything we do. Cortland just said it best. We put ourselves in this position. Let's take advantage of it.
You said you put it down, right?
No, just right here. I just get to 10. 10.
Can we zoom in on that?
If you're a network, you can.
Sean, when you're still working through, you've seen a lot of several different running backs this year. Is there a challenge in trying to find one direction to go in, or do you feel like you've gotten productive things out of just several guys?
Yeah, it's a great question. We're learning. It's part of having a young team. We're seeing Abrams Drain come along, Bailey come along, Audrick now come along, Blake. I mean, I'm just hitting on a handful of young players, and I think no different than Bo. You're, as a coach, quickly trying to sort through, hey, what are the things these guys do really well, and let's try to have them do those things.
Sean, going back to seeing those guys in college, you saw Joe that he might have been the best consistent college year ever. Did you think it would translate right away? Who does he kind of remind you?
Who does he remind me of? That's a good question. I would say he's got that poise, and he's got real athletic feet. He can move. He can throw off schedule. I don't know if there's one person. I remember the evaluation though, and you knew he was going to be selected extremely high. I think that you have grades and you look at guys, and so often it depends on where they go, the system they're in, and so, man, for him to go with one of his top receivers was pretty unique. That doesn't always get to happen, and those two have really taken advantage of it.
From your time coaching Trey Anderson and seeing him fill in this year, what sort of challenge is he going to be?
Yeah, listen, Trey, from day one, man, he's powerful. He's got really good bend. He obviously plays with great energy. He's extremely passionate, and he was part of that 17 class where there were so many of those players' contracts coming up. They were just so it's always good to see someone that you were part of selecting, having the success he's having. But I mean, that was Lattimore, that was Ramczyk, that was Marcus Williams, that was Kamara, that was Alex Anzalone, that was Trey. I mean, that's a good class, and all of those guys are playing at a high level. So, but no, he's someone who can bend, like I said, and man, you're in for a full day's work. That's how he plays, and it's, you don't get to where he's at, and it's been consistent. It's not just this year for him. He's been real consistent.
In basketball, players and coaches talk about the clinching game is always the most difficult. Does this game against Cincy kind of have that feel? And what's like the key to getting to a win like this?
Well, I think, look, this game to Cincy has that feel because here we are at the end of the season. We know we're playing a good football team, a team that's been in the playoffs, and kind of been where we've aspired to go. And so, yeah, like I said at the very beginning, all the details, we're going to have to play not a perfect game, but we're going to have to play one of our best games, and I think our players understand that.
Worry about losing any of you guys to the valet company after
The what?
The valet. No.
The what?
A couple of guys were not proud of everything since then.
Oh, I didn't realize that. No, good for them. Huh? Good for them. They're good husbands.
Great. The new GoDaddy Arrow has AI marketing.
All right, Broncos country, how y'all doing? That was Sean Payton's press conference that actually happened yesterday before the game. I think yesterday was their last practice before they go off to Cincinnati. Riley Moss is back for this game. I already did a short video about Riley Moss being back. I did it sometime yesterday evening. So for all who didn't check it out, go check it out. It's popping. The players are ready. They already know what's at stake. The media already asked Sean Payton what kind of message did he send. Excuse me. What kind of message did he send to the players? He said, I ain't really say nothing. He said, I just said we got to get to 10. They're 9-6. They got to get to 10. 10 wins, they in. Either they win this one this week at Cincinnati, or they wait to go home and win it at home against the Chiefs. Look, nobody wants to win a game against the Kansas City Chiefs when they resting Patrick Mahomes and most of their starters at home, which the Broncos proved that they can beat Kansas City, which they almost beat them this year in their house. If it wasn't for that black field goal, they would have been at 10 already, searching for their 11th win against Cincinnati this week. But needless to say, like Bo Nick said, after the Chargers game, the players already know what's at stake, and they already want to play again next week, which is this week, this Saturday at Cincinnati. I like it when all the media and all them do their picks of the week. A lot of them haven't. A lot of them are picking Cincinnati to win. The only one person that's picking Denver to win is Adam Rank, which I think everybody knows he's a Chicago Bears fan, but I think he's a Denver Bronco fan on the low. But no matter what happens, this season is a win-win for the Broncos. First winning season since 2016 with Trevor Siemian at the helm at quarterback. Sean Payton instilled this culture and turned this team around in 2 seasons at the helm as head coach. Him and his coaching staff. And I really don't get it why a lot of Bronco fans is out on Bo Nix, booing Bo Nix. When he got us there. Right, he got us there. He broke a lot of rookie records. Passed John Elway's rookie record with wins. Passed Drew Lock record with wins, but the only one that counts is really Elway. So for all Bronco fans that's out on Bo Nix, I don't know if y'all fly-by-night Bronco fans or what y'all are. Should be proud. Should be jumping up and down with joy. Because no matter what happens, this Bronco season is a success. Me and my sister-in-law already kind of got a little wager going on. I told her, she said we ain't going to get to the playoffs. I said, yeah, we going to make it to the playoffs. And she said, okay. I said, if we make it to the playoffs, if we get in, make it to the playoffs, I want a Bo Nix jersey. She said, okay. And she asked me what she get. She told me she wanted me to delete my Carolina Panther channel. I said, okay. Mind you, I got that Panther channel because of my wife, who is a Carolina Panther fan. But I said, okay. But I already know I'm going to get my Bo Nix jersey because Sean Payton is a hell of a coach, future Hall of Fame head coach. And I think the way he did it, he wants to go in Cincinnati, and he wants us to go beat Cincinnati. So I think the Broncos clinch their playoff spot tomorrow, this Saturday, in Cincinnati. I think Bo Nix is going to show out. The defense is going to show out. Going to show up and show out. Riley Moss is back. So I think that championship defense is going to be back. And with Riley Moss back across from Pat Surtain, that will allow the Broncos defense to play more man. And the rush quarterback, get out to Joe Burrow. I think Nick Bonito will take the record in sacks Saturday against Joe Burrow. I think Nick Bonito will get about 3 sacks. Jonathan Cooper will get 1. Zach Allen will get 1. Jonathan Franklin get 1. I think this defense is determined. You got to understand, this is a Broncos team, a young, hungry Broncos team. And Sean Payton said at the beginning of the season, in the offseason, said young and hungry can be dangerous. And a lot of these players that's on this Broncos team haven't seen the postseason berth yet, haven't made it to the playoffs yet. I think Sean Payton knew what he was doing when him and George Payton assembled this team this year. Look, in George Payton I trust, and in Sean Payton I trust. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Go Broncos.